Took the day. Here is our day, starting off around 500 meters altitude, so we're on the high plane, and we play a lot with it before we take our only peak of the day, only real peak I should say. It's a category 2 test, and then it's downhill towards the coast. Here's our breakaway, nearest man to us at the moment, that's Lucas Melier. Myler, I beg your pardon, the German, good time trialist, and in fact a decent result in the Tour of Serbia on one of the stages there. Found himself in a breakaway, and this is precisely what he has today. Number 181 there is Antonio Barac, fourth in the Tour of Albania, actually, also a youngster. Well, I say youngster, 25 years of age, but I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, he's still a young man, you know, so I guess a lot of this is quite fresh to him, to be honest, and not least the success. And you're never quite sure, I guess, when you hit the jackpot early, whether, you know, it's going to stay with you. We've had here we are, 8% with 68 k's to go. 8% is no laughing matter, Brian, and this will introduce us to a descent off the high plane down towards the sea. But they've got what, about 5 kilometers of climbing before they actually get over the peak. And in fact, today's stage is a regular for us into Zadar. It's a beautiful place. I'll put up a picture of Brian's techno album cover, which I took. Let's deal with this first. It's our King of the Mountains moment, and it's a category 2 test, so there's a lot up for grabs here, and nicely taken. That was feistily fought for. I like that, and it is Pavliak who takes that. Gosh, look at this. All of a sudden, everything changes, Brian. There's a real sense of urgency right now in the chase.
Yeah, this often happens, that when a long descent like that, it's a lot safer to be at the front, and you know that's why we saw the acceleration there. It's just more about safety than anything else. As a reminder, quite a few years ago, that it was really windy in this descent, and they had to neutralise the race, but not today. It's a southerly wind between 12 and 14 kilometers an hour. I don't think it will hamper the riders too much, but yeah, you always want to be safe in a descent like this.
Destination Zadar, 3,000 years old is the place, and it is rather beautiful, as you will see. Jona Vingegaard, he's had a beautiful year, and I don't know, we've had very much a changing of the guard. Pages have been turned, Brian, this season in terms of our Grand Tour winners.
I think, you know, it's good for our sport. You know, I've total respect for Chris Froome, you know, and the dominance of kind of Team Sky over the years and things like that. But I think it's good for our sport that we're starting to see kind of different winners.
Slight disintegration of our front group, as you can see. This is Barac from Meridia Kamen, who's decided that he's been biting his tongue for quite. Aberasturi, he's going to have to work hard to get back in here, and this is precisely when you don't want this to happen, Brian. The pace has just started to pick up. This is fabulous. What an approach. This is Marty Marquez. That we were just dipping in on time to stretch the legs for last man standing. There's a combativity award up for grabs, for goodness sake, and it's Pavliak who goes for it. Meanwhile, Byron Victorious pick themselves up out of the saddle, but they look a little bit laboured at the moment. Most dangerous of all for me looked like Trek Segafredo. Moschetti, I think, might be their chosen son today. I know Aberasturi, I'm not writing him off, he's had to battle to get back in. And this is the fracturing of our brake. There's they're getting thinner and thinner on the ground here. Rovat still engaged there in the green, just in front of Pavliak in the red here. I think he's the strongest rider of the group. Here they come, stand clear of the line. There's a train coming through, and it's an enormous express, as you can see, with several Indeed, lines of different carriages here, and they're going to charge in. It's just about to happen. It's at 8 kilometre marker. They'll take a very focused right-hander at pace, and they're going to get tagged at almost the perfect time here, 76 kilometres an hour. That's the race, essentially, for this turn. It's a crucial one, and if you're not in a decent position, and Vingegaard really wants to be part of this, oh, that was a brutal door slam shut there, bagsying the line, and this, of course, is for Jonathan Milan. Absolutely spectacular. The man who won yesterday, just on second wheel at the moment, looks very, very handy. Tucked in, Pat Bevan is also where he needs to be with 7.5 kilometres to go. Yes, it's don't forget, it looks like it is going to be Modelo. He's in the blue jersey and he's being guided up at the moment. Could really be dialing the clock back. Kwiatkowski doing a fantastic job. Checks over his shoulder. He knows that Viviani is absolutely where he needs to be, and there's a big important moment coming up for you right now, and Kwiatkowski almost instinctively knows exactly that. Jonathan Milan, a big presence with the red jersey, the leader's jersey, cuts up the inside, making a nice job of it as well, just sailing away. He's in third wheel at the moment. He wants Viviani's wheel. He'll try and mug him at the very death. Let's wait and see. Pierre Barbier is also in the mix here as well for B&B Hotels, looking nice and lively. They start to open it up, and indeed here goes very, very early Jonathan Milan. Viviani's on his wheel. Milan knows he wants to be in front very early, and why not? Now then, has he got what it takes to keep in abeyance B&B Hotels at the moment? Axel Laurence and Pierre Barbier, and he goes for it, the downhill run. Here comes Viviani, going to try and square it up, can't quite make it. Milan still at the front. Milan still holds the angle. Viviani coming up. It's going to be a 3-up photo. It's going to be on the throw. Oh my life! B&B Hotels made it stick at the end. Pierre Barbier, I believe. Let us wait and see at the end. Wow, what a photo that was. But Jonathan Milan will be in bonus seconds again. He'll maintain the lead of this race. That was a superb piece of work. Pierre Barbier punches the air. B&B Hotels worked so hard for that. Milan has apparently been declared the winner. Let's have a look. That, oh gosh, even that, Brian, where does a dead heat begin?
First pro victory for Pierre Barbier.
Good lad. Well, here is Viviani. At this point, I thought Viviani was going to come through. Then I thought that Jonathan Milan was going to hold on. But on the throw, Pierre Barbier, he never stopped driving it, did he? Gosh, it's still close. I hope he's right for him. I think he is. Usually the riders have a sense of this. Let's have a look overhead, Brian.
See, Viviani only he'd snatched Milan's wheel. He gave himself a lot to do and was coming with pace, but realised with 20 metres to go he wasn't going to make it, sat down. But still at this stage, Pierre Barbier had a bit to do, 10 metres to go, and it did come down to the final 10 metres there. And I can only think that Milan, because he went from distance, he was starting to die. Just in the last, when Milan decided to go, he went from distance there and pretty much led out the rest. Viviani was coming, but how he allowed the two B&B riders in front of him to take the wheel of Milan, we'll have to kind of wait and see in that.
He does take it as near a dead heat as damn it, but Pierre Barbier, second place ahead of Eli Viviani, who we knew was third. Laurence Aberastori, good finish by him. Eekhoff, decline, was up there, thought he would be. Attilio Viviani with Albanese in the frame, and Milan Menton rounding out the top 10. Jonathan Milan, 2 wins back to back. Who'd have thought? Jonathan Milan, he leads overall, he leads the points, he leads the young riders classification. It's his race at the moment. That could change in complexion tomorrow. It kind of feels like more of a GC finish tomorrow, Brian, the first really that we will have enjoyed in this race.
I'm expecting that. I'm expecting the second category followed by a third category climb up to the finish. I'm pretty sure it will be more of a kind of GC battle.